Mytrofanenko, who is one of the initiators of this movement, and Mykola Bondar, who is an Otaman of the Ukrainian Cossack troop. During Maidan, he was the captain of the 4th Cossack 100. Hello, we have the honor to inform the society about the start of the powerful Ukrainian volunteer movement and to address everybody concerned to join our common cause. The students have always been and are the engine of social transformations, and now the students are ready to act and are full of the spirit of patriotism, and the society is living for several months in the conditions of the armed conflict in the East, and whatever you call it, without the help of volunteers, the soldiers won't be able to cope. So our aim is to unite the efforts of all the educational establishments around the purchase and delivery of necessary things to the front. In every university, they know students and professors who have gone to fight. We know everybody who is wounded, that we may help them. We help them not only with medicines and things and food, but also with moral support. We will also help those who remained without people who they're breadwinners, and also we will take care of students who cannot continue their studies because of the events in the East. We also will embellish in our memory the names of those who died so that they are remembered in the future. And we also want to establish a specialized schedule of learning for students who take part in the fight. We'll of course know where they repair the armored vehicles for the army. So I ask, will the hands of the students be not needed? And this is the test for every young person. We have started our work and we have first results. We understand that the anti-terrorist operation will go on for several years, even after the shots are finished. So join us on Wednesday. We will have the official opening at noon in the Central House of Officers. Good morning. Yes, we've been approached by the students in our environment. You know, we think they are our brothers in arms, although by their age they are our kids. These are people who are concerned and who sometimes sacrifice their lives and very often give their money and time so that there's some order in the country. And at the moment, these children have enough experience to start to work independently. And we invited representatives from practically all regions to our Wednesday event, and representatives of many universities. I invite now those whom we were not able to contact. There will be many people who are on the front line and who are on rotation. There are students, there are those who want to be, and there are would-be students who are now engaged in volunteer work. There is a number of outstanding issues and problems, and the students have defined them, and they want to inform the management of the Ministry of Education so that we all understand, including students and the state in general, that students in Ukraine, you know, they have always been an engine of social transformation, and there are several directions that Maria has not spoken about. The work with IDPs, with children who are coming back from or rather resettling or moving from the anti-terrorist operation zone. They are being paid too little attention, and the information gap that there is, you know, we have traveled across the entire south and east, and this scares us the information gap. And if we take this up when kids talk to kids and students talk to students, this is going to be a different thing. So far, they are trying to talk to them in a political aspect, and politics is dirt that really does not allow to hold together what they want to tear apart. I also want to announce that we are conducting the analysis of the trip that we had. There's a number of investigations, and now this is my own opinion. A number of my brothers in arms are now within this volunteer movement. We were invited as people who can help, but we are also conducting our own investigation that we will announce, results of which we will announce later about what's really going on. Any questions, colleagues? Radio Svoboda, Radio Liberty.
Good morning. 2 questions, one to Marika. Now, during the military actions, the warfare in Donbass, the experience which students, medical students gained at Maidan is of special value. Will you be using this experience of those medical students who were there in the future? And the second question is to Mykola. It's not about today's topic, but at Liberty Radio we are starting some investigation about Akhmetov's charity fund, charity convoys. Do you agree with their requirements, you and other commanders? We will involve all the students and non-students, those who agree to help. There are students' lawyers, there are medical students. The lawyers can provide some legal assistance to IDPs. The medical students can help with putting together the individual medical kits. The students are young people who are ready to act, and they are involved in all spheres of activities, and that would be very useful. I would add, we saw now many people who are from Maidan. They are in all the spheres, and medical doctors, that is a separate topic. But there are many people who from times of Afghanistan, I meet regularly them. There are many young people. In fact, in Grushevskaya, there were children there were first-year students who did not know anything, but they were protecting the wounded with their bodies. And, we were responsible for the guarding the medical, providing protection for medical service in Maidan and outside Maidan. So we know that, and we're working on that. As to humanitarian convoy, I can tell you, when we tried to enter the territory of DNR, they were trying to shoot us. We were going there without weapons openly. We were going to negotiations. So the question, how are they meeting, and what is in these humanitarian convoys? And another issue, which is about the warriors who are there. Don't forget that just from Donbass, more than 120 persons, these are those who we know about. They are in captivity, and no one wants to change them, to exchange them to others. I sometimes do not understand the position even of the commander of this battalion. Maybe the situation is not that simple. Once we agree to compromise, then the other side should agree to some compromise. Now they put some requirements to us. These are the requirements from them, but what we require never is done. That is the position of Russia. They force you to execute certain requirements, and they do not execute anything. So the issue that civil population is to be protected there, that is definite, and we are working not just with children but with all the population. My question will be to Maria, because I'm also the student and I'm interested in what you're talking about. First, why do you believe that the students' movement is needed? Is it done to make coordination easier or to unite the students? There are some volunteer organizations which are doing what you are doing. I haven't heard of anything else what no one is doing. Is it just to attract students to existing initiatives, or will you organize some initiatives from the students? And you are saying that you're one of the initiators. Who are other initiators? What other people were involved? Did you cooperate with those people who were at Maidan? You will learn about who are initiators on Wednesday. The students are those who are ready to act, but someone has to coordinate them. And what different things we'll be doing is a school of leadership, the place where the students will be able to have some practice. The lawyers, the medical students, some other students, they would be gaining experience there. And the main thing is to coordinate all the students. There are volunteer organizations, but usually there are adult people there, and these are students, young people. We were facing the problem when the student wants to help but doesn't know where to go. We want it to be happening transparently. Will you be helping the students join some existing initiatives, or will these be some other initiatives but they're duplicating? The problem is, today, I would like to emphasize, in my unit, about 30% are students. And sometimes the school students, these people who have experience, some of them are at the front line even now. The problem is, in every volunteer organization, some part is young people, students, but these volunteer organizations are busy with a certain work. I cannot tell you who is doing what and how, and I cannot assess their actions, but no one raises the issues which are important for the student. Just imagine the guys come back from ATO zone and they receive the invoice to pay for the dormitory, or but no one, for example, remembers, or the student cannot continue studies because no one remembers this person as a student. There's a big movement. It's not just Maria. Practically all the oblasts, all the regions are presented, including Crimea. These are children. Their age, talking about their age, but to get them united, for that, this initiative is being developed. Then, some of them are involved in voluntary activities. You know, there is a system of encouragement for sportsmen, for artists, depending on what the rector of the university wants or likes. But the system which would assess and would respect those who are helping, those who are in the front line, and sometimes they are themselves in the front line. We have a lot of students who were dismissed from the universities because they go to ATO zone. We will not request the Minister of Education or others. We will not ask them to allow these students not to study. But sometimes they just miss the exam because they cannot get to the exam on time. So we'll request to delay this exam. And so we will put some requirements some demands to the Ministry of Education. And we hope that the Ministry of Education, the Armed Forces, the Ministry of Interior will help. Also, you know what's happening in the country, in the armed forces and the Ministry of Interior. Unfortunately, the situation with personnel, with human resources is awful. So these young people already have experience and they execute the functions of some of the state bodies. And that is probably the reserve which will fill in the empty seats, so to say.
Another question for you. What is the number of this movement at the moment, and what universities are represented? Those are the biggest Kiev universities, for instance, the Shevchenko University, the Kiev-Mohyla Academy. We don't want to show you all the cards. How many participants? People from every region of Ukraine, 25, 27. No, yes, we don't want to open all our cards. There are representatives from the regions and also from student communities, and also some individuals who represent certain universities where organizations are still lacking. At the moment, more than 10,000 young people who are working in different directions and who are in the anti-terrorist operation zone. We invited those students who are on rotation in Kiev. They will be represented there, and a number of volunteers or representatives of volunteer organizations who are prepared to organize their own system. We think that it's about 10,000 people, but it's a geometrical progression. We went through southern regions and we were surprised. Well, I was not surprised, but because there is no coordination, there's a lot of young people who shared those concerns, and they will come on Wednesday and you will be able to see them. Okay, thank you very much. We'll wait for information from you on Wednesday and our next briefing.